What's up, guys? Chris Basil Builds here. Just wanted to do an intro for today's video. I'm trying to make my beginning, middle, end subject matter portion of my videos make a little bit more sense, so maybe they're a little bit more enjoyable for you guys to watch. After going back through the Civic video, kind of wasn't really happy with the way that it flowed. It kind of made me feel like I didn't pay enough attention to while I was filming it. You know, when I first started doing this, I thought it'd be fun to, to just video the process of what it is to do, tinkering with stuff and fix cars and working on boats and the kinds of stuff that I like to do for fun, because I like to watch other people on YouTube do the same. But come to find out, man, it's when you add the camera to the equation and trying to make sure that you're telling your camera what you're doing, it makes it a lot harder. So thanks for bearing with me, everyone that's been watching my videos. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Everybody that's reached out and told me they're enjoying watching them and stuff, thank you so much. Super cool. Love hearing it. So on today's video that you guys are about to see, got a little project in from a friend of mine. He's got a jet ski shop on Grand Lake, and him and I have been wrenching on skis for a long time. We like to tinker around on stuff together. Had one that he didn't have time to mess with and needed to get fixed. So he asked me if I'd give it a stab. He'd let a couple other people that help at the shop as well take a stab at it. And man, this thing really did a number on a few guys, I guess. I don't know. But anywho, we got the W on it. We got it fixed. We got it working. What it was, it's a Kawasaki 1100 triple direct injected two-stroke. I think it was a 2003 model. It's a Kawasaki Ultra 130 was the model on this, but this information should be applicable to, I would imagine, most 1100 triple direct injected Kawasaki skis. So if you have a Kawasaki direct injected 1100 triple two-stroke, which they did in quite a few skis, this could come in handy for you, because as far as whenever I was trying to figure it out, looking around online, it's reasonably common that this problem occurs. We had a fuel pump failure, so I was told the jet ski had issues with power and the computer and things like that, and so I got it disassembled, and I reassembled it to determine that we did have spark, we did have injectors popping, we did have, should be signs of life, but there was no fuel pressure coming out of the return. Come to find out, instead of having a regulator on the rail that keeps your fuel pressure for the rail, this has a restrictor in the return line, which creates your fuel pressure in the rail, which I talk about a little bit later on in the video. But wanted to pop up and say, what's up? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I've got about 10 minutes of video to show you guys of, some of the disassembly, some of the parts. We go over something kind of interesting about the fuel sending unit that you'll definitely want to see. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, this repair has spiraled out of control, I would say. I've got a resolution onto what's going on with it. I think I may have previously mentioned that this thing's been worked on by a few people before, and there's just a lot of different power condition things described to me, like it didn't have power, it wouldn't turn on, or whatever. So I just kind of like hooked everything up that I could find. We had a lot of disassembly when I got it. The starter solenoid was taken apart, the fuse box was missing fuses, there was no battery in it. That's temporary, obviously. That's just sitting there. It's not hooked up. And then so I got it back together enough to turn on to realize that, I had power, I had crank, but the fuel return line I noticed was unhooked, which I thought was a tad strange. And so upon further investigation, I realized that this fuel system on this deal is a direct injected two-stroke 3-cylinder. So it's got a electric fuel pump in the tank, and it's got a send and return. Well, this thing is regulated by the return. So there is a little restrictor that goes in the return line that creates the fuel pressure from the fuel pump. So I pulled the sending unit out because I had power to it, but I had no fuel pumpy. So This guy obviously looks super legit, but it's dead. So I got a new fuel pump ordered, and luckily it's got a new sock, because as you can see, that sock is not good. And then the pump, which should be the right one. It looks exactly the same, so I'm hoping it is. But also, this is why I got this, because it had the return restrictor. So this should be everything we need. So I think I'm going to start off by, I need to do a little cleaning, but what I want to do is get the sending unit back together. Sending unit back together, then once we put that back in, we can do a massive amount of reassembly, because to get the sending unit out in this particular vehicle, it's a little complicated, because you have to get the sending unit, it's just right there, you can see it, but to get it out, you have to pull it all the way out of the steering stem hole, because it's pretty long, you know. There's a lot of space in there, but it's a lot longer than it looks. So basically the whole assembly is about, you know, yay long. That's quite a bit of space. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up, because it's all rusty and nasty, and clean up this hardware and all these pieces, so we don't not just getting rust shavings onto the brand new fuel pump. And then we'll get her put back together and see what it looks like. And so I'll click back in here in a little bit, probably maybe with the reassembled sending unit. So that's what's up. Talk to you guys soon. All right, guys. Well, so here's where we're at. We got some good cleaning done on the sending unit. This thing was all just full of crud, full of rust, full of a bunch of stuff. You can see over here, there's just all the stuff that came out of the old fuel pump is super rusty. But this is just an example. I mean, this isn't really like for this jet ski. I mean, we're just replacing a fuel pump and a sending unit. This is kind of a basic repair that you could do in a lot of different things. Here's something I wanted to cover that I feel is important. So this kit has a harness with the same plug here, the same terminals here, the same orientation there as the old pump. The sending unit or the pickup sock is very, very similar, will work. Hose, you know, so what we're looking at are two identical situations. But wait, one little stupid thing that could really screw you up if you don't double check, and this is why I wanted to stop and say this, because I mean, obviously anyone can slip a pump into this thing and put this together. I said, you know, I'd like to use those new wires. Let's make sure they're long enough. And I look at it in here, it's a little shorter, but I think it's close enough. I think it'll work. But then I said, wait a second. Let's make sure the pins are in the same spot. And there's a notch. We got a blue and a black wire, blue and a black wire. Well, these are opposite. So if I would have just unplugged this connector, plugged this in, hooked it all up, we would have had no fuel pump, because this connector is different. This is a universal fuel pump. I mean, it's not necessarily just for this jet ski. I initially went to auto parts stores all over town trying to just see if I could find a Toyota Corolla fuel pump that would look just like this. Believe it or not, much more difficult than I anticipated it to be. So I just gave up and ordered one on eBay. I'm happy with the result. I think that was the right move. I think this is going to be the best setup. But I need to flip-flop the pins on this connector real quick, or I was about to have a big problem real quick. So just wanted to pop in and say that. I'm going to put this together and I'll probably start the video back up. All right, so now we have the new pump sending unit cleaned up, ready to go. I got all my hoses tightened. I got my new strainer in. So now I need to put this dude back in there, and then put all this stuff back on, and then see where that gets us. I mean, it's going to get me a step better. I don't know how it could hurt. The other fuel pump was clearly no good. This is clearly a common issue on these things, and this thing's old and it was crusty, and I'm feeling pretty good about this is going to be what we need to do to make this thing rock and roll again. So I'm going to go ahead and get this put back on and get at least you know, most of these parts back inside the ski, because there's just a lot of stuff going on here. I want to make sure to get this all back together right. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to click back on and see what it looks like back together. Okay, back at it. So we got a lot done. I actually got it all back together. Computers in place. These Kawasaki's are crazy. They've got like a water-cooled computer. Kind of interesting. There's a water from the exhaust goes through the computer, I guess for the cooling sensor or something. I'm not sure exactly, but got all this stuff that was undone before, all my starter solenoid, my fuse box, everything's all back in place. I stuck the regulator in there just as a placeholder to see, because it's kind of odd to me how it works, and I don't know if I may have it in backwards or what, I don't know. So I developed a leak at that O-ticker clamp, so there's like 2 different hoses, and this is really kind of ghetto. So I think what I'm going to do is go get a little length of some injection hose and just redo it with new hose, new clamps, because I cranked it up long enough for fuel to start coming out, and it built fuel pressure, and it started popping off, but I didn't want to start it because it's still in the garage, and I had the lawnmower and the scooter and the Jeep and everything's in the way. So I need to mow today real quick, and then probably going to clean the rest of my junk off of it and roll it outside tomorrow and give her a proper first start, and I'll bring you guys along for that. I think that'll be fun. So I know I didn't really video a lot of this. Honestly, this job, I didn't know if I was going to video it anyways, because this isn't mine. Like usually I like to really only record fixing my own things. This is something that's for somebody else, but it's okay, no big deal. I mean, what needed to be done got done, and the customer's going to get their ski back, and just in time for beautiful weather outside. So yeah, this is actually going to be the first of probably several jet skis you're going to see me work on here. I've got 2 out in the backyard that I need to get in here and at least get some cleaning done to them, and I've got one I need to do some carburetor adjustments on. So I'm gonna, since I've got some space in the garage right now, probably get that stuff all squared away, and probably going to list a couple of these 2-stroke jet skis that I have, because I don't need them. I have 2 4-stroke Sea-Doos at the lake, and they're getting some work done to them by the jet ski shop. So when they're ready, I'm not going to need that one that you can't see behind the Jeep. So gonna have a couple of good price jet skis. If anybody needs one for this summer, let your boy know. We're eventually going to get to the Superjet. Haven't forgot about it. It's just with my injury and everything, it kind of got put on the back burner since I can't even barely walk still. So the stand-up jet skis kind of last on the priority list right now, but it's going to get done, so don't worry about it. And yeah, so that's it. I'll bring you guys back for the first start. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my first of probably a lot of jet ski videos. We're gonna do a lot of marine stuff on the channel. Hopefully a lot of you guys are into that. We got more cars coming. I've actually got a new car video that we're gonna do this weekend. I don't know, soon. A neat project that anybody that knows me in real life is gonna get it, but anybody that's just found these videos on YouTube that's checking it out is not gonna understand at all why I bought this thing, but it'll make sense, just wait. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you feel like it, please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, give me your input, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me you enjoyed it. Really appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches these videos, and it's cool to be able to share it with people. So thanks again. Chris Basil Builds. Follow me on Instagram at cbasillife, Facebook Chris Basil. You can email me at chrisbasilbuilds@gmail.com if you got any questions or inquiries about any of the stuff that I use. Thanks again. Have a good one. See you guys.